And there are roles that can be implemented if our club grows and we need to fill more roles. One of them is the presenter of invocation. Now that's just someone who begins our meeting with a prayer or an inspirational speech. Another one that I like to see added in, of course I'm voted in when I'm not doing the agenda, but another one that I'd like to see added in is our joke master. This joke master gives us a funny antidote for the day. Then we can also have an actual position as a vote counter who counts the votes of evaluations and best evaluator and table topic. And lastly, we could have a parliamentarian, which is someone who sees that we are carrying parliamentary procedures correctly. And again, one or more of these roles can be added to the agenda at the discretion of the officers and as membership accounts for it and needed. Now, in a concert, when you go look at a show, again, you see everybody that's there, and if you enjoy the show and it was good and planned well, you're going to see, again, the master of ceremonies, you're going to see the performers, you're going to see the band. But what you don't see are some of the people who play the most important role, the people who does all of the behind-the-scene work. They are really your headline performers, and you never know to give them attention. There are 7 important people that are the behind-the-scenes people for Toastmasters clubs, and those are our officers. And I'd like to take a quick little intermission here for everybody that's an officer. Please stand up and let us recognize you today, because we don't get recognized enough. Yeah. Now, y'all can sit down now. I'm on the floor.
We're waiting.
Now, although an officer is just as responsible for completing roles as any other member in the club, we are also responsible for ensuring quality meetings, and that comes about by the stuff we do before, during, and even after the meeting. But it does provide the framework, the vital framework, the stuff that's important and need to be done in order for each meeting to be successful and enriching. And by the way, while I'm talking about officers, we're changing officers soon. So in hearing about these positions, if anybody feel like they're interested and want to take the job, please let us know. We're going to start out with the Sergeant of Arms. Now, the Sergeant of Arms would kind of be like the stage manager, set the scene. You know, if you go to a show or a play and there's nothing there but the people, you don't have your props set up, then you're not going to have a good production. Same thing with Toastmasters. Our Sergeant of Arms come in early. He sets up all of our flags, our lecterns, he sets the chairs up, and he makes everything nice and comfortable so that when we do have a meeting, the stage is already set. Now, there is some other things that he does behind the scenes, which is, first of all, he's responsible for confirming the location. He serves as a liaison between the club and the management of the building or whatever is needed to ensure we have a place to meet. And the second part of what he does is a very, very hard task, because he actually gets here early. He makes arrangements about how the room is going to be set up and how everything is going to be positioned. Make sure the timer clock is there, the agendas are out, plastic bags. So as you see, he is totally responsible for setting the stage. Also, he is responsible for greeting everybody who attends, introducing them, making them comfortable as members. And last but not least, the after work. He also has to pick all this stuff up, roll it up, wrap it up, and get it out of wherever we're meeting at. So as you can see, the Sergeant of Arms has a very physical position. Now, Mr. President. I'm so proud of our president. Mr. President is the only person is the only officer that has a standing role on the agenda. In our particular case, he reports business items. According to the Successful Club series, he is also the one that opens the meetings, greets the Toastmasters, brings in the Toastmasters, and greets the guests. Now, I don't know if the arrangement of our sergeant in arms, I don't know if they've gotten in cahoot and reworked this out, but our sergeant of arms do this for us generally. However, according to manual, it is president's position. And the president, yes, he's done this for, but it wasn't done before our sergeant of arms started doing it. He also opens and closes the meeting, recognizes the guests, and does inductions. The vice president of education actually plans the meeting. Now, her goal is first of all to have the agenda up at least 3 weeks in advance. And actually, I am supposed to find out what your goals are and assign your meetings. Technically, I don't, because I find people work a lot better when they do what they choose to do instead of doing what they were volunteered to do. So I'd like for you to volunteers for those positions. But technically, I am supposed to handle the agenda and schedule the meeting and fill the roles as you need to fulfill your goals. Also, I'm supposed to chart all your accomplishments. This is not technically inclined, I'm really behind, but I think with some little training and help from my secretary, we'll get that right. And lastly, when you do your speeches, there's a place back there that says VP initials. I am actually supposed to be initialing off all of your manuals to provide your completion. And again, as with every officer, I am also to introduce myself and meet new guests. The Vice President of Public Relations, which I don't know if they are here, but it's exactly what it said. Now, oh, Sir Jack, sorry baby.
That's okay.
Now, what if you went to a show and you had all of the actors, the performers, all of the equipment, but no one was there? It wouldn't be much of a show. Same thing with PR with Toastmasters. The public relations, now most of this position is done away from the Toastmasters site because the purpose of it is to let people know about our club and bring people in. They are also responsible for letting our club members know what activities is coming in for the group, as well as distributing a newsletter or distributing information that we need as a group to the president to be announced. The vice president of membership brings new members to the club. Now, any good club should have a standard set of 20 members. However, because of life, schedule, and changes that happen, it's always a challenge to keep that number up. Hence, why we need an officer that's the vice president of membership. His or her job is to constantly be doing things to promote membership increase, and to bring those reports back in and let us know what they are, as well as advising the VP and the president of new members so that they can be initiated and inducted into our club. Again, their responsibility is to greet all of the guests and help members with any questions that they have. Secretary, first of all, keeps account of all of our attendance. Secondly, secretary keeps account of the minutes and information given in the meeting. Our treasurer, oh, and by the way, the secretary also, everybody reports to Mr. President, by the way. The treasurer, although we don't have a lot of financial things going on in the Toastmasters Club, even free concerts require some financial benefactors. So does Toastmasters. And the treasurer keeps up with that by collecting the dues, by paying for the supplies at headquarters, and providing us with the financial support whenever it's needed. So, you see, excellence does not occur just spontaneously. Whether it's at a club meeting or whether it's at a concert, it always helps to be rehearsed and prepared, and it takes that for us to work harmoniously. So, when everybody works and everybody is prepared, we will earn standing ovations for our attendance at the meetings, and we will always have season ticket membership.